This is about the iconic singer Vani Jairam, who has crooned about 10,000 plus songs. But what has happened now is that she's been found dead in her apartment. Now, is there more to this death? We clearly do not know, but the maid who actually visited her, like she does almost every day, raised the alarm. She says that she turned up for work as usual on Saturday, but she did not get any response despite repeatedly pressing the calling bell. And in the presence of Vani Jairam's relatives, the police then broke open the door, found her dead, is what the maid has said. The maid, who goes by the name of Malar Kodi, who's been working for the past 10 years as a maid at the singer's house, says that the police did find an injury on her forehead. The police say that she may have fallen down, injured herself, but like I said, the police still investigating the death of the singer. Varshini also joining us live right now. Now, you know, Varshini, it's a tragic story. The singer is not just iconic. The reason why I think that you have a lot of people today very worried whether this was a natural death or there is more to this, Varshini. What do we know about the circumstances? What has the police said so far? And where does the investigation lead us?
Well, if you see, this is definitely a very tragic incident that has taken place, and this confusion, like you mentioned, as to whether not able to understand why her demise has taken place in the first place is what has left a lot of the whole country, her fans worried. And now the police, when we try to get in touch with them, when our police sources spoke to us, they had told us about how there is one injury, one very visible injury seen on her forehead. And that is the reason why now they had to file a case under 174 section, which is of a suspicious death, because they are not able to, have a very certain answer as to why that injury is found on her head in the first place. Though initial investigations and preliminary reports tell us that she might have fallen down from her bed, and that is the reason behind the injury. Unless and until we have a very strong autopsy report, there cannot be any conclusions made on this matter, and that is why the police say that they're not able to give a confirmation as to what really happened. But as of now, we are able to understand that since there is an injury, a very visible injury on her forehead, the police have filed a case of under 174, and currently, as we speak, the postmortem is also happening at the Omandurar Government Hospital, and within a couple of hours, we will also be able to, the postmortem will be over, and her body will also be returned, and it will also be taken to her house, and we will also get to know the details officially from the government hospital doctors who are performing the autopsy, and that will give us clarity onto what really happened. If it is a very circumstantial accident that has taken place, how she fell from her bed, or if at all there is something behind this death.
Now, you know, Varshini, she's been a decorated singer, recently nominated for Padma Bhushan, that's India's highest third civilian award, and a number of, other awards to her credit. What more do we know about the last person who possibly could have, seen or met the singer? Do we know of any accounts that you've heard through the maid, through the police who are investigating the case?
Like you mentioned, since she has been recently nominated for a prestigious award, there has been a lot of visits of late, is what we are hearing from the maid as well as the police sources who are currently doing the preliminary investigation in and around her house. They are talking to a lot of people. They are finding out the last people she spoke to on her phone, the last people who visited her at home, and also since the maid, her house help is the most closest person who's been living with her for more than 10 years, and she's been always present at the house throughout the day. So she was the one who's always keeping records of who is visiting her. And while she has been not able to, come up with a perfect list, because of late, since there has been a lot of congratulatory messages and gifts, and also a lot of people who've been visiting her in person to pass the congratulatory message in person, is has been way more than what it usually used to be. Therefore, there is no perfectly, though the police are not able to, narrow it down to a proper number of people where they were the last people who spoke to her. But her maid, Malarkodi, is the one who's been living with her. And we also have confirmation from the police that she's been living alone for the past few years after her husband passed away.
It is a tragic story, Varshini, and we trust you to keep us ahead on whatever the investigations might lead us to. And we also extend our deep condolences to the family at this very difficult hour. For the moment, thank you, Varshini, for getting us the latest.